So I thought I'd record a little session suitable for postnatal mums. So ideally, probably at least 6 weeks after a natural birth and 10 weeks after a C-section, and also preferably after having been signed off by a GP or physio or specialist women's health therapist. So this session will focus on core exercises and also offer some options. And I'll do a separate one, which is more of a stretchy one, so look out for that one. So we'll just get started. We will start with a bit of a stretch just to loosen the spine to make sure you're not going into this super stiff. So we're just going to start by sitting up nice and tall. If you feel like your lower back is slumping, if you've got a block, cushion or jumper, it will be more comfortable to pop your hips on top. You can also have your legs out, so in a slight diamond shape, which will help you rock your pelvis forward. So options, you can also sit on your shins. So we'll just start by sitting up nice and tall, just taking a few breaths here. So as you inhale, drawing the shoulders up towards the ceiling, and exhale, sliding the shoulder blades down the back. And again, inhale, shoulders up, and exhale, slide. And inhale, shoulders up, and exhale, slide. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, away from your ears. We'll just bring our hands to the outer edges of the rib cage, and then we'll take a few breaths, trying to focus the breath in the thoracic spine rather than belly breathing. So as you inhale, feeling your rib cage expand, and as your ribs push into the hands, and then exhale, drawing the belly button back towards the spine, drawing up through the pelvic floor as your ribs come closer together. And again, inhale, pushing into your hands, feeling your back open, and then exhale, drawing those ribs close together, drawing the belly button back towards the spine. And again, inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. So see if you can keep this breath going as you bring your feet in front of you. Again, sitting really nice and tall on the sitting bones and popping your hands under your thighs. And as we inhale, we're going to rock forwards on the sitting bones, trying to keep the knees as aligned with the ankles as possible. And as we exhale, we're just going to rock back just a notch. So just drawing up through the pelvic floor as you tilt back, drawing the belly button down towards the floor. Again, inhale, rocking forwards. Exhale, rocking back. And throughout this, you're trying to really keep drawing the belly button down towards the floor. And again, inhale, up. And exhale, rolling back. And inhale, forwards. And exhale back. If this feels really comfortable, in your stomach, or maybe if you've been doing quite a lot of exercise since having a baby, you can take it a little bit further. We're not changing the position in the legs. On the exhale, we can go back a notch more. Really focusing on finding a length and curve in your lower back. The shoulders stay open, the chest stays facing your ceiling. And again, inhale, rolling up. Exhale back. And inhale, rolling up. And exhale back. And we'll do a few more of these, and you can just, again, turn it up a notch by doing ankle lifts. So as we inhale, we're going to pick the right ankle up, exhale, rolling back. Inhale up, exhale, rolling back. Inhale up, exhale, switch. And inhale up, exhale, switch. Try and keep the hips as still as possible. Inhale up, exhale, switch. And last one, inhale up, exhale, switch. And inhale up, and then exhale, knees out, feet together. Gently folding forwards without putting any pressure into your legs with your elbows. Just allowing gravity to do the work, loosening out the hips. And then we're just going to walk the hands back up. Sitting on our knees, and we'll just roll the shoulders back a few times here, and then taking the arms back, so hands slightly wider than the shoulders. And then on the next one, as the arms go up, the hips are going to go up, and think about sending the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, hips towards the screen. So inhale as you sit up, squeezing the glutes, exhale as you sit back down. And then again, inhale, sit up, squeezing the glutes. Exhale as you sit back down. And again, inhale, sitting up. And on the exhale, just try and imagine you're pressing through treacle with those arms, activating your back muscles. And again, inhale up. Exhale down. And inhale up. Exhale down. Last one like this. Inhale up. Exhale, arms at shoulder height. We're going to keep a neutral alignment here in the spine. So hip bones and pubic bones feel like they're roughly on the same plane. So you're not tucking your pelvis under, but you're also not overly arching your back. Hands at shoulder height, dropping the shoulders, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the inner thighs, breathing in. Then as we exhale, we're going to shift our weight back, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, and then inhale, coming back to the starting position. Exhale, shifting your weight back. Inhale, back to the starting position. Exhale, shifting your weight back. Inhale, coming back to that starting position, and then exhale, shifting your weight back. Inhale, coming back to that starting position. 2 more. Exhale, weight shift. Inhale, come back. Exhale, weight shift. Inhale, come back, and we'll just add an extra with a little rotation. So as we exhale, we're going to shift our weight back, bringing the right elbow past the right ribs, looking over that right shoulder. Hips stay square to the screen or to the front of your mat. Then inhale, everything comes back up to the top. Exhale, elbow slides back as your weight shifts back, looking over that left shoulder. Inhale, back up to the top. Again, exhale, back, inhale up. And exhale back. And inhale up. We're going to bring the right foot in front of us so that your right knee and left leg are both on a 90-degree angle. Feel free to roll your mat under your knee if you need a bit of extra padding. And then from here, we're going to bring our hands up to our ribs. We're going to try and keep everything from the belly button down super still. So we're going to twist, but we're not going to twist at the waist. We're going to try and see if we can get some traction here in the thoracic spine. So imagine you're lightly pressing your inner thigh against a block. We're going to breathe in here. And then as we exhale, we're going to twist those ribs towards the right. Inhale, center. And again, exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist, drawing the belly button back towards the spine. Inhale, center, and exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Let's do the same. This time, imagine you're trying to, push against that twist. So you are trying to resist it. So we'll do the same again, breathing in. And as you exhale, twist, and inhale, center. And again, exhale, twist. And inhale, center. One more time. Exhale, twist. And inhale, center. We're going to keep the left leg where it is. We'll take the right arm out. Arms out to the side. And we're going to, this time we are going to hinge at the waist. So we're going to do some finger taps. And the position of the arms doesn't move. So this is your axis. This is your position in terms of your torso. So sending your hips slightly forwards, your right foot is flat on the mat. And then we're going to dip down and then spring back up. So inhale, dip down. Exhale, spring back up. Let's do 6 in total, so 4 more. And really try and recruit your core muscles, spring back up. Last one. Relaxing your arms, bringing the knee in, rolling the shoulders back. You're going to bring the arms out at shoulder height, thumbs up towards the ceiling, doing little circles. Nothing else is moving. So your torso, nothing is bouncing, everything is as still as possible. And then turning the hands, the thumbs towards the back of your room. So keep going with those circles. And then we'll keep the thumbs facing towards the back of the room, keeping the torso still. We're going to inhale, see if you can reach back a little bit more and imagine you're reaching out to the sides as well as going out to the back. And then as we exhale, we're going to come forward with the arms, thumbs cross as you come forward. Exhale, reaching back. And inhale forwards. and exhale, and inhale. And now let's switch the breath to see what difference it might make. This time we're going to breathe in. Exhale, breathe out, inhale, and then exhale, and inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. And then just relaxing your arms, giving them a little shake. We are going to bring the left foot forward. So keeping your feet and knees hip distance apart, 90-degree angle in both legs. Bring the hands to your ribs, and then lightly pressing your left inner thigh into an imaginary block. So we are going to inhale here, then as we exhale, we're going to twist, and then inhale center, and exhale, twist, and inhale center, exhale, twist, and inhale center, and exhale, twist, and inhale center. Let's do 3 more of these, but with the resistance. So we're going to breathe in. As we exhale, we're going to resist the twist, and inhale center. And again, exhale, see if you can resist that twist. Inhale center, exhale, resist the twist, and inhale center. Relaxing the arms, taking your left leg out to the side. So try to align the arch of your foot with your knee. Top of the foot is flat and toes are pointing in front of you rather than out to the side. Arms are out, and we're going in with the finger taps. So we'll do 6. So we're going to inhale, lower down, and then exhale, spring back up. Inhale, exhale, spring. Keeping the glutes switched on. And inhale, lower, exhale, spring. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Relaxing your arms, relaxing your knees, rolling the shoulders back. We're going to come onto all fours. And on all fours, you're going to find your neutral spine position. So your back isn't arching, and you're also not overly tucking the pelvis. So nice long spine, sliding the shoulder blades down the back and pushing out of the shoulder blades, lifting out of the wrists, lifting out of the shoulders. Remember to really press the fingers into the mat, so you're taking pressure off the heel of the hand. If your wrists are particularly sore, however, you can always roll up the front of your mat to create a little step so that you're not locking at the wrists. Just still remember to try and keep the wrists under the shoulders. So from here, we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, keeping everything super still, we're going to slide the right foot away from us, so sliding it along the mat. And inhale, bringing it in. And throughout this, you're just keeping the gaze between your hands. And then we'll switch sides. Exhale, left foot slides. Inhale, bringing it in. Exhale, right foot slides. Inhale, bringing it in. And exhale, left foot slides. Inhale, bringing it in. So we're moving like a ninja. Nothing else moves. Exhale, right foot slides. Inhale, bringing it in. And then exhale, left foot slides. Inhale, bringing it in. If this feels comfortable enough, we're going to add arms. So as you exhale, right foot slides, left hand slides in front of you. The shoulder doesn't follow, your shoulder stays in. Then inhale, bringing everything in. Exhale, left foot, right hand. Inhale, bringing everything in. Exhale, right hand, left foot. Inhale, bringing everything in. And exhale, left foot, right hand. Inhale, bringing everything in. Let's do 2 more on each side. So exhale as you slide out. Inhale as everything comes back in. And then exhale as you slide. Inhale as everything comes back in. And we'll do 4 more. Either saying, carrying on exactly the same, or if you feel really confident and comfortable with this exercise, you can start to lift the arm and leg. Just try and keep them lifted at the same height, and don't lift your foot higher than the bum, because as soon as you do that, your back will arch, and then you'll have no support for your lower back, no support for your core. So starting again, inhaling, and then as you exhale, either carrying on as you were, or starting to lift opposite arm and leg, keeping the hips square to the mat, squeezing the glutes and drawing the belly button to the spine. Inhale, everything comes in. Exhale, sliding on the other side. Inhale, 2 more. Exhale. Inhale, and last one, exhale. Inhale, coming down onto your forearms. So you can either interlace the fingers or have the hands flat on the mat. Again, making sure that your back isn't arching, so you're in neutral spine position here. We're going to keep the right 90-degree ankle in the right leg, and we're just going to swivel the knee up, squeezing the glutes, and then bringing the knee back down, just lightly touching the floor as you come down. So knee up, inhale, knee in, exhale, knee up, inhale, knee in, exhale, knee up, squeezing those glutes, inhale, knee in, exhale, knee up, inhale, knee in, exhale, knee up, inhale, knee in, one more, exhale, knee up, inhale, knee in, switching sides, exhale, left knee up, inhale in, and then exhale, up, inhale in, watching that the hips don't dip, exhale, up, squeezing the glutes, inhale in, and exhale, up, inhale in, two more, and last one. And then taking the knees nice and wide, toes together, sitting back on your heels, relaxing the forehead on the mat, and keeping the hands either wider than the shoulders, or if your shoulders are just feeling tired, wrapping your hands around your heels. Taking a few breaths here. See if you can direct the breath to your lower back as you inhale. See if you can feel your lower back open a little bit more. Just going to roll up. And we're going to do a final exercise. We'll do some bridges. Change sides, a bit of variation. So in your bridge position, you're going to start in your neutral spine position. So neutral spine lying on your back should feel like your coccyx is really nice and heavy. You should feel like you've got an arch under your back. How much your back is arched will completely depend on the shape of your spine. And then you want your feet, you don't want to be able to quite touch your heels, but you want them a little bit closer to you than where they might naturally land. Shoulders open towards the ceiling. Let's start with palms facing up. And then just slightly tuck your chin in ever so slightly to make sure your neck is nice and long. We're going to inhale here, and then do exhale. We're going to tuck the pelvis under, allowing the lower back to sink into the mat. So this exercise comes from your hips moving. It is your core muscles that pull your belly button down. Nothing else is working. And then as you inhale, you're going to squeeze the glutes and then start to peel the spine off the mat. One vertebra at a time, drawing the knees towards the toes, coming up to your bridge. At the top of your bridge, you want to check what your ribs are doing, so you don't want to arch your back. So you're going to tuck the ribs in, and you ideally want a nice line between your knees, hips, and shoulders. So really squeezing the glutes to stay up. And then inhaling at the top, exhaling to place your spine back down. One vertebra at a time. Working through your upper back, middle back, lower back, and finding that neutral spine position to complete the movement. So we'll go again, just integrating it slightly better this time. Breathing in, exhale, drawing your pelvis under as you draw the belly button towards the mat, and then starting to squeeze the glutes to squeeze the spine, to roll the spine off the mat, one vertebra at a time, drawing the knees towards the toes, and imagining here that you have got a block. Perhaps you could put a block between your knees to keep them from splaying in or out. So keep drawing the knees towards the toes, squeezing the glutes to find as much length as possible to the front of the body. Ideally, your hip flexors shouldn't be working too hard here. And then inhaling at the top, exhaling to place the spine back down, one vertebra at a time, back to neutral. And then again, inhaling, exhaling, tucking your pelvis under, drawing the belly button towards the mat, and then squeezing the glutes to feel the spine off the mat, one vertebra at a time, up in your bridge. Inhaling at the top of the bridge, exhaling to place the spine back down. Back to neutral. Let's do one more like this. Inhaling at the top, exhaling, tucking the pelvis under, drawing the belly button towards the spine, squeezing the glutes, coming up. And then we're going to stay here and we're going to do 5 hip dips. So as you dip your hips,
You want to just lightly touch the floor with your glutes. So the bones aren't touching the floor, it's the skin. So you're going to inhale, dip the hips, squeeze your glutes to shoot straight back up. Inhale, lower, exhale, shoot straight back up. Inhale, lower, exhale, shoot straight back up. 2 more. Inhale, lower, exhale, shoot up. Inhale, lower, exhale, shoot up, staying here. And then breathing in, exhale. Feel the spine back down. 1 vertebra at a time. Drawing the knees in towards your chest. Gently rolling from side to side. And as you roll, maybe taking the knees a little bit further away from you to see if you can imprint your whole pelvis into the mat. And doing a few rolls one way and the other way. And then either coming back up to a seated position, or if you fancy an extra bit of a challenge, pressing your hands into the shins into the hands, picking the head and shoulders up, drawing the belly button towards the spine, and we'll just start rocking and rolling up and down the mat, making sure that you're not rolling on your neck. And then when you've got enough momentum, coming up to seated position, and there we are. That's a little core series. I should say that if you are 6 or 10 weeks postpartum, doing the whole thing might be a bit of a stretch, but hopefully it will give you some ideas of exercises that are safe and that you can do, and how to layer them to make them more or less challenging. So yeah, get in touch if you've got any questions, and look out for my next video, which will be more focused on spine.